a.m. South African time as we cross over to Ramallah, where we'll be talking with Fareed Taamallah. He's a journalist, a Palestinian journalist, a farmer, and a political activist. Assalamu alaikum to you. Welcome to the program. Nice to have you on the show. And of course, we are going to be looking at the war on Gaza, understanding the complexities beyond the headlines. How different is that to what we see on our TV screens and what we read in news headlines, so to speak?
Good morning for you, Julie, and for all the South Africans and those who are listening to Salam Media. Thank you for having me. Look, to live under occupation is something I think the people who witnessed the apartheid regime in South Africa can understand. Everyday life, the daily life of any Palestinian, ordinary Palestinian, is full of difficulty. I mean, if you wake up at the early morning and you want to go to your office or to your school or to visit a friend or something, it takes like long time to just to arrange or to plan for your roads of going to your office because the roads are sometimes closed, blocked, sometimes open. Sometimes you can pass, sometimes it's not. So you have to check before you leave your home to make sure that the road is open or not. And even when it is open or possible to go to your office, for example, you never predict how long it will take for you to arrive your office. So on the other side, the Israelis are raiding the Palestinian cities and villages every day almost. In Ramallah, like 2 or 3 days ago, the Israeli army raided the city. They killed 2 people, and like dozens were injured. And the Israeli army also burned the vegetable market in Ramallah, and they stole. They attacked an exchange currency office in Ramallah, and they stole the money inside, and they hijacked many young Palestinian young people. And also every day we hear about confiscation of lands, building new settlements or expanding settlements. Settlers now are being armed by the Israeli army. They are given more and more arms and weapons to protect themselves, as they claim. And the end result of all these things is to have more Palestinians killed, more land confiscated, and the the main roads are blocked for Palestinians and only used for Israeli settlers. People in the West Bank are facing big troubles when they are traveling on the main roads. The freedom of movement is very restricted. There are like lots of around 9,000 people were arrested from October until today in the West Bank, in addition to like another 5,000 people they were arrested before October. The daily life of the Palestinians in the West Bank is very difficult, but this is of course not compared to what's happening in Gaza. We, the people of the West Bank, we feel a little bit shy to talk about our plight, our suffering, because our brothers and sisters in Gaza are being genocided, and we feel a little bit confused to talk about our plight in comparison to what's happening in Gaza.
So I understand. Well, we are all aware of Gaza being almost blown to smithereens. There's almost nothing left of Gaza. We also know that the international community has come forward with a lot of aid. And we've heard up to now that the aid trucks have been stopped from going through, or the genocidal occupiers are monitoring what they allow into Gaza and what they prevent from going in. Is that still the status quo? Or are they allowing the food and essential necessities to get through to the people of Gaza? And where are these people living? Because the Gaza has been blown to smithereens. We've also heard last week about that horrific killing of 40 plus people in the tents where they were burnt alive, and that was the most horrific thing we've ever seen, apart from all of the other suffering imposed on the people of Gaza.
Look, Julie, every time the Israelis they lose some political loss or military loss, they compensate that by attacking more and more Palestinians, and they are becoming more brutal every time they lose military or politically. So the Palestinians are paying this price either ways. If the Israelis are strong enough, they will kill more Palestinians. If they feel that they will lose or there is big political pressure on them, they try to compensate this loss by being more aggressive against Palestinians. And what happened last week, tens of displaced people, is coming within this frame. I mean, we have to understand the Israeli mentality in this way. Every time they feel they are like cornered by the international community, they try to find or to appease their army or their right-wing government members by killing more Palestinians. And now, after this proposal of ceasefire by the American President Joe Biden, now we are expecting that the Israelis they will be more brutal in the West Bank. I mean, Netanyahu, in order to appease his coalition members, he will try to give more space, more aggressive policies in the West Bank to confiscate more and more land, and that's how the Israeli government is working. I mean, these like Ben Gvir and Smotrich people in the government, their eyes are not on Gaza. Their eyes are on the West Bank because they are targeting the West Bank. They consider it as part of the Torah and the Toradic land of Israel. So every time they are talking about Gaza, this is correct because the army is doing horrible things in Gaza, but their eyes are on the West Bank. They are trying to confiscate and to take and to buy more and more land, and they are trying to build new settlements. So I think like next few days we will maybe hear more news about new settlements being built in the West Bank and about more freedom for the army and the settlers to work in the West Bank in order to compensate their loss in Gaza.
I can't even begin to think how much more brutal they can become, because their brutality has been absolutely unheard of in modern history. And you kind of wonder, what more can they do to subjugate the Palestinian people? Allah knows
I mean,
best.
in the West Bank, our big fear and our big worry is about the transfer, because the Israelis and also settlers are talking about this on public about the need to transfer the Palestinians in the West Bank to Jordan. All the time, settlers are throwing pamphlets and brochures in the countryside, asking Palestinians or threatening Palestinians if you don't leave to Jordan, we will do another Nakba for against you, and we are going to kill your children and your women, and we will displace you. So the eyes of the settlers and the very far right wing in Israel, their eyes are on in the West Bank. I mean, they are targeting the West Bank. To annex the West Bank to Israel is the mere existence. So the transfer of Palestine
Okay,
is
that
what,
line,
yeah,
I think
worry
we'll have to
about.
leave it there. The line is not very stable. Fareed, we're going to have to leave it there. Shukran very much for the update. We will talk again with you in the future. Our du'as, ongoing du'as, are for the Palestinian people. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant you people total victory and let the pain and the suffering end for the people of Palestine. Assalamu alaikum to you.
Thank you.
7 after 9 o'clock exactly. Welcome back. Lots more coming your way. But of course, this hour of news and views is sponsored by Africa Muslims Agency. Africa Muslims Agency, a beacon of hope to communities for over 35 years in Africa and beyond.